Moses commanded us a law, even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. And he was king in Jeshurun.
And he was king in Jeshurun. So the king that went to America, like the brother said, that was Moses. So Moses went into captivity in America. So he served slavery too. Because there's the Lord is, Yahweh Shai is the main king, but the physical king is King David. There's a physical king, okay? And the answer to that is Hosea, what is that? Isaiah 3 and around about the 5th verse. Yeah, 4th verse.
Hosea chapter 3 verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without a teraphim. Afterward shall the children of Israel return, and seek the Lord their power, and David their king.
And David their king. So there's really one physical king. That's King David. Is there more to that?
Yeah. And shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days.
So we in the latter days right now. So we understanding that there was an actual king over there. An actual physical king. Okay, go ahead, brother.
Deuteronomy 28 and 35. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone.
Right, because you just read that. Now, since you in there, you know what? Go to the top. What I wanted is in the 15, 16 verse, because when you go to Deuteronomy 28 and you start from the 15, 16 verse, it tells you about all the curses. So we're going to start from the very top to tell you about all the blessings that we were supposed to receive, that we're getting ready to receive. All right? Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Like I said, you got jakes out there that want to be with the Most High, but they don't want to keep the laws. Go ahead.
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day.
So the Most High wasn't playing, man. When he said keep all his commandments, we know we're not perfect. We don't have perfect bodies. So we go off, even I go off, even these brothers go off. We all go off. We all make mistakes. That's why it says in the book of Judges 5 and 11, matter of fact, get that, rehearse the righteous acts. Because you guys go around saying that you keep the Passover, technically you're really not keeping the Passover.
Nathaniel, he's always talking about the law.
Yeah, because in order for you to keep the Passover, you're going to have land, and you have to raise your own lambs and sheep and goats and flock. And then you got to make sure the lamb is 1 year old, that there's no blotch on that lamb, that there's no spot on that lamb. It has to be a perfect lamb.
You gotta eat the whole lamb too.
And then you got to eat the whole lamb.
You got to separate it on the 10th day.
You got to do a lot of things. So basically, are we really keeping the laws? No, we're not keeping the laws perfect, but we're rehearsing the righteous acts. And by the way, you got people in the churches talking about they righteous. What does it mean to be righteous? To keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Because if you mess around with your best friend's wife, you might say, well, I'm doing it in righteousness because you whipped her ass last night. Ain't nothing righteousness about messing with your wife. So what is that? You're breaking the law. When you say, I'm not going to mess with my best friend's wife, that means you're being righteous because you're observing the law. Thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's wife. Because what is your wife? Your woman's nothing but your possession. You own your woman, just like a piece of, just like you own your car, all right? Just like you own shoes. One day you might wear one shoe, the other one pair of shoes. The next day you might wear some boots. The next day you might wear sandals. A boot can't jump up and say, no, wear me. You own them boots, just like you own your woman, all right? Go ahead, brother.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 36, verse 24. He that getteth a wife.
What do you think about these women? There they go again, talking about they were doing good. Go ahead.
He that getteth a wife, he getteth a possession, a help.
He that getteth a wife, begetteth a possession. You own her. She's a piece of commercial property. Commercial property. Go ahead.
He that getteth a wife begetteth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest.
Well, a pillar of rest. You know you ain't gonna get no rest with your woman, especially that black one. You're not gonna get no rest with her, man.
I got it. Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates.
Now, what he just read, in a nutshell, he's saying when Israel delivered from America, from the nuclear missiles, that place that we in, we supposed to rehearse some righteous acts. It don't have to spell out that it's missiles. It don't have to say America. Because you have to understand them scriptures. Read again, brother. Read it slow and carefully. And clearly.
Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water.
The noise of archers. The modern day archer is these missiles. Actually, the archer is the one that has a button on the silo. And what comes out the silo? The missile, the arrow.
I thought that was U.S.
No, it's USSR. USSR is going to destroy America.
The other way around.
Okay, well, good. All right, well, you're a gook anything. Fucking Chinese, fucking Chinese. Okay, hold on, forget about that Chinese Mr. Magoo, man.
Yo, go put some rice.
Go ahead. Just go.
They that are delivered.
Hey, you know, get on down the street, man.
Get your walk, man.
You ain't nothing but a goddamn heathen, man.
Heathen?
Yeah, you ain't heathen.
That's what you are.
So God rejects everybody with a missile, buddy, not just USSR.
You don't, yeah, you don't know. You do not know, man. All right?
Medication. See, I told you. I can talk.
Go ahead.
Judges 5 and 11. Mr. Miyagi and shit.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi.
Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water.
The places of drawing water is talking about slavery. Go ahead.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord.
Rehearse means to do it the best way you can. All right? That's all I want. Now, where we at?
Deuteronomy 28 and 2. Deuteronomy 28 and 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake you. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field, and blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, and the increase of thy kinds, and the flocks of thy sheep.
How many Negroes you know got land and got flocks and sheep and horses on their land? Y'all got any friends that got it like that?
That's how Job spoke this much.
Go ahead.
Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in.
Hold up. Your store and your basket is what? Store, another word for store is business. How many of y'all got businesses? And if you got a business, how many of y'all got successful? How many of y'all got successful businesses? Because we under the curse, brother.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm gonna give you an example. These two brothers, man, they went to the bank, they got all the business license, they went to the city hall, they got this, they got the shirts with the business name on it, they did every goddamn thing.
Got stuff on the truck.
They got trucks and all that, man. And you know what, man, for the first month they did good. That second month is all downhill, man. Because we under a curse. You know? Go ahead.
Jesus love you. Jesus love you.
Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Now, if your store is your business, what is your basket? right? Your money. In other words, you have savings. I made this much from my store, so now I'm gonna put this much in my savings for my kids. You know, you got an average cracker that'll go to the bank. I see these two old crackers from Italy. The man couldn't speak a word in English, and the woman knew about maybe 5 words in English, and they had a bunch of accounts. In one of their accounts, they had $100,000 in one of their accounts. And I'm looking at this shit, I said, what the fuck is going on? I said, these motherfuckers, between the both of them, they don't know 10 words in English, old as hell, and they got one account they looking at, $100,000. And they put that $100,000 in there and what's called a CD. Anybody know what a CD is? It's a certificate of deposit. In other words, you take $100,000 in 6 months, that CD will give you a return of, let's say, 6%, which is $6,000. So if you can take $100,000, 6 months later, get $6,000 plus $100,000, imagine what somebody could do with $10 million. You know that there's people that just sit on money and they just put it in the bank?
They just living off interest.
They just living, thank you, brother. They just living off of interest. But now you got Jakes, you got Mike Tyson, right? This dude, they estimated that this dude done made in his boxing career almost $400 million. And you know this nigga ain't got $2 to rub together, man? No, he jacked himself up being a dumbass, man. He jacked himself up, man. It wasn't just Don King, because there was a point where he left Don King and he was still broke. Because he's under the curse.
Now you that white chick sniffing coke.
Go ahead.
I wasn't even that bad.
Well, the bottom line is, he was cursed.
He's under the curse.
He's under the curse. Go ahead.
Blessed.
Because a nigga can't just take $1 million and say, you know, I'm not gonna touch this $1 million. I'm just gonna put it in the bank and live off the interest. That's all a nigga have to do. A nigga can't do that, man. A nigga can't buy a regular house. A nigga gotta be, a nigga gotta be like this dude, MC Hammer. They showing you the story of MC Hammer. One thing I had to say about MC Hammer that's good, all them jakes that were dancing for him, he took care of them. He took care of them, man. He made sure they were paid. And when he lost all that money, all them people that he took care of, they turned his back on him, man. So all that bullshit about, if I come into a lot of money and they say, what you gonna do about the community? I'm gonna say, what community are you talking about? My community and my wife, my kids, my mother, my aunt, whatever. And a handful of friends. Other than that, I ain't got no community. Unlike Nathaniel 7.
Yeah,
Because I'm going to hit you with something with that community bullshit. All that shit he talking about the community, we can do this. If this nigga came into $1 billion, he ain't giving one dime to that damn community that he's living. He going to leave that community.
He's right about that.
Okay, we know how Jake is, man. But anyway, MC Hammer got all that money, $35 million. He had to get a house on the hill. He had to import towel from Italy.
Yep.
He had to get a pool. He had to tear it. I don't like that pool. It ain't big enough. He had an Olympic-sized pool. He had to get a bigger pool, 3 times the size, with gold chairs and all that.
Fleet of cars.
A fleet of cars. That's why a nigga lose money, man. Yeah.
I want to ask you something about this whole community thing. I was looking at this, and I don't know if this looked like a demon.
Oh, well, that's it. You brothers are the expert. That's it right there.
It looked like
The trick or trick. That's the trick.
That's
trick or track.
yeah. Or the Vesica Pisces.
That right there is a demonic.
Oh yeah. Circle within the circle.
That's a demonic image right there.
Yep.
So the Illuminati was the ones that set up the whole community.
That's why niggas got some. That's why Drake got so many demons on him in this video. Because they under the vibration of all them demonic symbols, man.
Do you have a pamphlet?
Not for you.
We don't have no pamphlets.
Not for you. Not for you.
Why not?
Because it's ain't for you.
Oh, what's your nationality? What's your father?
He's an Edomite, man.
Saxon.
He's an Edomite, man.
Well, Anglo-Saxon or Jakes. We don't know if he's a. Well, brother, you don't know that.
He's in the spirit,
Hey, well,
man.
you're reading. Well, brother, my spirit's telling you, nah. I don't know, brother. At least he's adding for literature. All right, go ahead, man. Let's read on. Let's read on.
Deuteronomy 28:5. Blessed shall be the basket, blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
And that's not nothing to explain. Blessed shall you be when you cometh in, when you're born. You ever heard that term? Oh, this kid was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Well, how many people was born with a silver spoon in their mouth? We born in the ghettos and the slums of America. And cursed shall we be when we go out. When we die, we curse. You gotta call relatives that you haven't met in 20 years. Look, grandpa died. We trying to get a collection together.
Like Red Fox.
Oh, Red Fox, he went out cursed, man.
They took everything from him, his gold, they took the rings off.
Well, he died because of a broken heart, man.
Took his car.
And Jake didn't help him, man. You're supposed to have an active community, right? Jake is Israel, like you and Jake, I'm a Jake.
Short for Jacob.
Short for Jacob, yeah. All right, go ahead.
The Lord shall send thee, or the Lord shall curse thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways.
That happened until Esau came to the Americas, Canaan, and took over the North American Indian. The reason why the North American Indian went down, because they're under the curse. You can't get around the curse. Go ahead.
The Lord shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses, and in all that thou settest thine hand unto, and he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God shall give of thee.
You know they got crackers, they got warehouses with garden warehouse with stacks of silver and gold in it, man.
Yep.
That's what the Rothschilds deal with. They don't deal with money like so-called money that FRNs that we deal with, Federal Reserve notes. They deal with actual substance. Okay, go ahead.
The Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he hath sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God and walk in his ways. They have said, come and let us...
Oh, by the way, crafty counsel, the word craft, that's a buzzword for witchcraft. They might not say witchcraft or warlock, they might say the craft. They came out with a movie called The Craft, and it was about witchcraft. So they're using witchcraft and spirits to keep you lost, to keep you under that curse. Go ahead.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That's why when you tell Jake that the Israelites, they're going to curse you out. They might shoot you. Go ahead.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom,
the #1 nation. We all know who Edom is. Go ahead.
The Ishmaelites of Moab. And
they show you in the news that the Ishmaelites and the Edomites are enemies. They ain't no enemies. They get together, man. When they had the last General Assembly over there in the UN, they talking about Ahmadinejad. He was over there speaking while Bush was sitting down.
Right.
So how the hell they gonna be enemies if they can all come together? They all call each other, no, he's a madman. But that madman's allowed to get up there and speak.
Right. Can two walk together unless they...
Thank you, brother. Can two walk together unless they be agreed?
Right.
Go ahead.
They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Right, you can't remember who you are. Go ahead.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes.
Moab is the Chinese, the Hagarenes are Egyptians. Go ahead.
Keep pushing Islam.
Yeah, Islam. Well, right, good, brother. They keep pushing that stuff to Jake about being Islamic.
Muslim.
That keeps you from your God.
Right.
Go ahead.
Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the Africans, go ahead.
Ashur also is joined with them.
Go ahead.
They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor, they became as dung for the earth.
All right, well, let's sit on that. Now, where we at?
Numbers 23 and 7. And he took up his parables and said, and he took up his parable and said, Balak, the king of Moab, hath brought me from Aram, out of the mountains of the east, saying, Come, curse me Jacob, and come, defy Israel. How shall I curse whom the Most High hath not cursed? Or how?
When you get a chance, read this whole story. I think it's Numbers 23 and Numbers 24. How this Moabite king went to the so-called Arabs and said, look, I'll give you half of my kingdom if you put a curse, because this man was a prophet even though he was of another nation. He said, I'll give you half of my kingdom if you put a curse on the nation of Israel. And at the end of the whole story, he said, look, you can't put a curse on the nation of Israel. But I'm going to tell you what the Most High going to do with the nation of Israel. He's going to have the nation of Israel get all you nations. And he broke down each and every nation that the Most High was going to use Israel to get. So the Most High opened this guy's eyes, even though he wasn't an Israelite. And we know that he wasn't an Israelite because he said, oh, I wish I was an Israelite. I wish I can be like these people. His eyes were open. Yeah. That was a guy that saw the donkey. He was riding on the ass, and the ass started speaking. And then he whipped the ass.
Even though he's seeing, he can see it, he's still going into captivity, right?
Of course. That's why he said he wished he could be an Israelite. Because he saw himself in captivity. The Most High opened his eyes.
He saw himself in captivity.
He saw all the nations in captivity. Matter of fact, when you read that, go to the point 24, all right?
Verse 8, How shall I curse whom the Most High hath not cursed, or how shall I defy whom the Lord hath not defied? For from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone, and shall not be reckoned among the nations.
And shall not be recognized among the nations. So you can't go to the UN saying, sit down where the seat where it says Israel. Now for Jake go and sit down there, they're gonna shoot you.
Right. They won't even let you get past that.
First of all, you ain't gonna get in the UN.
That's right.
Okay? Now go to the point now. Is there more to that?
Let me say this. If that was the case,
yeah, keep reading.
Been up in there,
keep reading, brother. This is the part where he said he wished he was an Israelite.
Verse 10. Who can count the dust of Jacob and the number of the fourth part of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous, and let my last end be like his.
Read again.
Who can count the dust of Jacob and the number of the fourth part of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous, and let my last end be like his.
Let me die the death of the righteous. Another word for righteous is an Israelite. And let my end be like his. So he's telling you right there, he wish he can be an Israelite.
Right.
And then he said the number of Israel, he said you can't even count a quarter of the nation of Israel.
Right,
that's how big we're going to be.
Yeah.
So he saw all of that, all right? Now let's go to the point 24.
Numbers 24 and 15. And he took up his parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, hath said, and the man whose eyes are open hath said.
And the man whose eyes are open hath said. Who opened up his eyes? The Most High. What eyes is he talking about? His spiritual eyes. So the Most High came to this guy even though he wasn't an Israelite. Go ahead.
He hath said, which heard the words of the Most High, and knew the knowledge of the Most High.
And knew the knowledge of the Most High. So you got other nations that know the knowledge of the Most High. So what is that telling you? That the Rothschilds know about the knowledge of the Most High. They know the name of the Most High. It tells you in the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter, it says that they pray to the Most High. They call on his name to accuse us.
Right.
Look, they're eating pork. Look, they're doing this. Look, they're not doing that. Look, they're not keeping the Passover. Oh, look, they're not keeping the Sabbath.
It all comes back for a recompense upon their own
That
head.
doesn't seem to make any sense though, because they're setting it up for us to, let's say, transgress against the law, right?
Right.
And then they're blaming us for it at the same time.
Well, that shows that they're the devil. That shows that they're the damn devil,
Let me say this, brother. That's why the Lord said he'll take it back and recompense upon their own head. Because they're doing this. They know that they're eating pork and they're doing this because in this setup, they're allowing this thing to go down.
Actually, they're pushing it. That's why they're pushing it.
Can I get a
When they have commercials about Burger King,
Right.
the bacon, cheese, and all that, who do they normally get to play the part of eating the bacon and cheese. They always got it checked.
Our own people. Can I get that scripture? 94:16.
That's one scripture, brother.
Yeah.
Brother, one scripture, brother.
I mean, not Psalms 94 verse 16. Yeah. Psalms 94:16.
Psalms 94 and 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoer?
Now, see, this is the question the Lord said right here. Say that again, brother.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoer?
Right, the Lord said, who's going to rise up? Which one of you going to rise up against the evildoer? You understand? This is why these brothers are out here preaching the message to you. Because your message is what the Lord is asking. Which one of you going to rise up to take this man down?
That's us. That's
right?
about us.
Go ahead.
And who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
No, you know the workers of iniquity is the so-called white man and all these other nations around here. So this is why the Lord said, read that top again.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?
Right. Go ahead.
Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Right. That includes your own people, man. Your own people gonna have to get killed. It's a little bit more than that.
Unless the Lord had been my help.
Right? Unless the Lord is our help. The Lord has given us the knowledge to give to you, because the Lord said that we the mouthpiece being spoken out in his name. They say, he that heareth me, heareth him that sent me. He that heareth me, heareth him that sent us. And he that despises us, you despise the Most High. That's in the scriptures. So you do all these crap things that these women do to us and stuff like that. We don't give a damn, man. Because the bottom line is going to be what the Most High, Yahweh Shai, and the nation, the men of Israel going to say. That's why you don't see no women standing around here listening to us, because their world is a total different on the left, along with Esau and every other nation that's out here. Go ahead, brother.
Unless the Lord had been my help, my soul had almost dwelt in silence.
Right, because if we didn't have no knowledge, man, we wouldn't want to know what to do next, man. We basically might as well just shut the hell up and just act like the rest of everybody else do. Go ahead.
When I said my foot slippeth, thy mercy, O Lord, held me up.
Right, so this is David here speaking. He said when his foot slips, so all our feet slip at times, man. But then it's time you have to recorrect yourself, examine yourself, and get back on track.